All right, sports fans, welcome back for another episode of The Fan in the End. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. And as per always, to my right, Mr. Big Ben Troupe. Ben, how are we feeling this morning, my friend?
Man, always good to be on with you, Steven. I'm just ready to get to the news. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the nuance. Let's get to the nonsense. Cause we gonna get to it all on him.
Yeah, we got a little bit of news, a little bit of nonsense, and a little bit of what the is going on. So let's start with the news because just got broke down yesterday. Our boy Mr. BG is not taking retirement, lying down. He is all over the place. He's got his hard iced tea out there. Going around the tri-state area. Just seen him in a few commercials in the area. Now it was announced that he is officially a part of the NFL Network, and he's going to be joining the Good Morning Football talk show starting September 3rd. Are you surprised by this? Like, how you feeling? What BG's already getting involved with in the post career stuff?
I'm not surprised. I think certain people are built for it. I think BG is a guy. I mean, first thing you gotta do, you gotta be entertaining. Check. You gotta have a strong opinion. Check. And you gotta have a personality. BG fits all those things, and it just shows what happens when you do things the right way with the Eagles organization. I mean, you walk away a two-time Super Bowl champ. You walk away, you got your own business ventures. Now the world get to see what a whole bunch of these sound. I mean, BG was one of the best guys when you start talking about NFL sound bites and mic'd up. I'm happy for him. I think he's built for it. And I think the thing about rebranding, when you're trying to rebrand, you always want to bring new faces, new personalities. I think BG definitely fits hits all those categories.
Yeah, I mean, remember we were talking about obviously we already know that like ESPN's kind of bought the NFL Network, and we were wondering with all the firings who's left the NFL Network, who's left ESPN, over the past handful of months, who are we going to see step in? And Brandon Graham is definitely a marked improvement. Obviously everyone's going to say, well, he's from Philly, Steve, you're biased. I'm like, go back and watch every Wired Up that he's been on, soundbite that he's dropped over the past few years. He is going to be pure entertainment on television. I couldn't be happier for Brandon as a person. Obviously he loves ball. He loves talking ball. He loves being involved with the game. So I'm definitely happy for it. I might actually be tuning in because for the most part I really don't tune into a lot of these shows because it's a lot of propaganda pushing around. And I don't really get into all that, but Brandon might be a good reason to kind of tune into the NFL Network. Starting September 3rd. Are you actually going to be tuning in to see what comes out of BG's mouth?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's gonna. The thing about BG is this: whoever his program director is, they're gonna earn every cent. They're gonna be like, BG. Oh man, he knows football, but he's also entertaining. And he's also a guy that he's likable. Like, I think the thing about being on TV that no one ever wants to talk about, you gotta be a likable personality. So, and I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
BG, if Stephen A be talking trash about the Cowboys, I can only imagine what BG gonna be talking about the Giants, the Commanders, and the Cowboys. And he get to talk about, what makes a good pass rusher a good pass rusher. What is it like rushing these quarterbacks? What is it like playing in a place like Philly? What is it like being a part of a rebuild? And actually seeing that thing come to the forefront, I think he's going to have a lot of insight. And now he's going to have an opportunity to people going to wake up to him. Shout out to BG, man. He's doing it. Like I said, these former Eagles, they buying racetracks. They got tea. I mean, they helping people get foundations set up. BG.
What does people don't underestimate what a lot of these Philadelphia athletes do around around not specific football situations. Jalen Hurts, last year and this year, 108 AC units donated to the Philadelphia school district. We've seen stuff with LaShawn McCoy. He bought up a whole bunch of property and is trying to repurpose it to underprivileged families. Here. I don't think it's directly in the Philadelphia area. I think it's in that Virginia, North Carolina area.
Harrisburg, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of these guys give back in so many different ways. Like you were talking the racetrack. Obviously, we're gonna go back to my boy Fletch. I don't know if you've seen him, man. He looks slim. He looks slim these days. So loving him looking healthy. But I'd be remiss not to bring the subject up since we were just talking about the recent king of the trash talkers, right? Who is the greatest trash talkers of all time in the NFL? This was one of the lists from DraftKings. They got Chad Ochocinco, Steve Smith Sr., Dion, Richard Sherman, Josh Allen's on there, Ray Lewis, T.O., Terrell Suggs, Phillip Rivers, which he belongs there, Pac-Man Jones, I believe he belongs there. I didn't see a whole lot of trash talking from Josh Allen. I don't know why he's on there, but give me your rundown. Like who you play with, who used to talk, man. Who used to talk to you, Ben?
Oh man, well, man, a bunch of guys. Had Shannon Crowder, big time trash talker. When he's out there. Chad Ochocinco, I wouldn't consider Chad Ocho a trash talker. He just talks a lot. Man, I'm trying to go back to my days. Guys that used to have something to say a lot, man, with these defensive guys. I had to deal with the Dwight Freeney's of the world. I had to deal with DeMarcus Ware used to talk. DeMarcus Ware didn't talk trash, but he's talking to you. Like he got some things to say to you. Tommy Harris, that used to play out of Oklahoma, used to play for Chicago, defensive tackle. He used to talk. Who used to talk trash, but he ain't talking trash. He talking Jesus and life, and that is B-Dog. B-Dog is gonna talk to you, and now he's not gonna say nothing until he has a reason. But once he starts talking, now there are some crazy people that will provoke Brian Dawkins. I don't know why you would ever want to do that. That's not good for your health, or that's not good for your physical, mental, or psychological health. But B-Dog, he used to have some things to say to you. I'm gonna tell you who used to talk a lot as an entire defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense will talk to you. I'm talking about Mike Peterson. I'm talking about not Richard Seymour. I just went into the Hall of Fame with him. We talking about was it John Henry? You ever seen the clip when they asked, it's a big D tackle, and he asked the equipment guy to slap him in the face. He said, "Come on, Joe, you got to slap me harder than that." That's when I was playing against the Jets. The whole defense had dreads in their hair. The whole defense would knock you out. Deion Grant, a real good friend of mine, who went to the University of Tennessee. He's older than me, and he played safety. Because I had to deal with AFC South guys, so the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, yeah, they would talk a lot of trash. But I just, like I said, the scariest guy ain't the trash talker. You know who that was? That is Troy Polamalu. He never said a word. He wouldn't say anything. But when in pregame, Steven, he would have his hair in like two long plaits in pregame. Right before pregame was over, he'll do this thing. He'll pull his hair out. I said, there go the demon. The demon is here. And
that was his transformation.
Whoa. I know who the biggest trash talker is. What am I saying? Joey Porter. Good Lord. Joey Porter, yes. Talking trash, getting off the bus. Talking trash, going in the locker room. Now you got Joey Porter Jr. But yeah, Joey Porter didn't stop talking. He didn't need a reason to do it, but yeah, Joey Porter talked a lot of trash. Pac-Man Jones was funny.
Pac's on the list.
Yeah,
from my looking at, Josh Allen's the only one that is the current player on the list. The fact that Brandon Graham is not on this list when we already seen how many different mic up where all he does, both during the game, during the coin flip, during the pregame warm-up, is talk. And he talks. he ain't cussing you out. He ain't sitting there saying anything too crazy. He just in your ear the whole game. I still think the best one was he's sitting there talking, and then Brandon, and then he's sitting there. Brandon's sitting there with Fletch, right? And Kelsey comes over. He was like, "Can you control him? Like he don't got to play against these defensive tackles. I do." I'm trying. Like, hey, listen, make my job a little easier, Fletch. Get him under control. He don't got to play against Dexter Lawrence. I do.
BG is a guy who understood what his role was because he was a fantastic player. I mean, to be a lifer in the NFL, the same team that drafted you, spent your whole career there, and you did first round pick out of Michigan. Like I did it. Almost 80 sacks in my career. What BG understood was, man, sometimes I'm speaking for guys who want to speak up because certain guys, it ain't natural for them to talk trash. I'm going to tell you who looks like a trash talker, and that's A.J. Brown. He just looked like, hey, man, I'm going off. I don't like DBs. I know who the biggest trash talker was. What are we saying? Even Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Chauncey talked to everybody, teammates, opponents, coaches, the people parking his car, the people, So Chauncey is there, but the art of trash talking is what they should have said because certain guys just talking to talk, but because in between plays, you might say something to the guy you're going up against. It gets a little chippy out there. BG, I can only imagine what he says in the facility. I can only imagine what he says in the meeting room, in the weight room, in the locker room. They be like, BG, what? It's almost like if BG isn't talking, Steven, you probably like, what's wrong with BG? He's sick. Oh, really? Yeah, he got a cavity. He can't. His mouth hurting. No. But Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, I know they on the list. That Terrell Owens, man, Mr. Get Your Popcorn Ready, Chad Johnson. Who knows?
But I've never seen any of him actually talking trash.
You know what? He did talk a lot of trash to DBs, but he did it in such a playful way. Like it's just one of those things. I mean, Chad Johnson sent. They played the Cleveland Browns the first game of the year. Well, he sent Pepto-Bismol to all the DBs in Cleveland. He's like, we got to pack it with Chad Johnson. Like, y'all gonna be sick, so you might as well go ahead. I love stuff like because when it's all said and done.
But see, that's in a fun way. That's not, in my opinion, that's not trash talking. That's showmanship. That's that's like a family member. That's like you pranking a family member. That's a prank. That's not trash talking. At least the way I'm looking at it. I mean, I could be wrong. You don't want to play the game, man. Do you think I'm wrong here? Do you think that should be
that is showmanship? Rodney.
Yeah, I don't think showmanship is trash talking though, right?
Yeah, right. Rodney Harrison, big time trash talker. Mike Singletary, big time trash. Oh my God, man, Mr. LT himself. I mean, they got sound bites of these dudes talking trash. And you know what, Mike? Listen. The greatest rivalry ever that no one talks about. Nobody trash talk. Strahan and Runyon. Strahan and Runyon. They going at it right now. They going at it right. I mean, I like the fact that Runyon to do something and Strahan to get his face and say, Runyon, the whole world finna watch me, and Runyon's like, yeah, we go. That's the kind of, it's those individual, I don't like you, you don't like me, let's do it. You already know what it is. I mean, Michael Crabtree and Akeem Talib, he ripped this man's chain off. You got to be a diabolically disrespectful. You gonna rip my chain off? Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree. Stephen Smith Sr.
See, Sherman's on the list, and I give that. Sherman definitely used to talk, stir the pot. He used to make his own spoon to stir that pot up, man. And he would do anything to get the psychological edge on somebody, and I mean, he's probably one of the smartest guys on that list too. You got to think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's one of those. Okay, we got to play with each other. We gonna go up against each other anyway. What small little edge can I do? And here's the thing about a trash talker: you can't win with them. If you don't say nothing, they're gonna keep talking. But when you respond to them, they're gonna start going off. Like BG seems to be a guy that says, "Look, dude, like BG is talking trash in the corridors. What's up? Are we gonna get you today? We coming for you? It's like, hey, dude, this is what I do. I'm a trash talker, but when I put my hand in the dirt, I can hoop. I can play. Like trash talking and you can't play, it don't mean nothing. Trash talking and you a beast, okay. Now we talk about something.
I still think the one he wasn't even naming anyone specific. He's like, 52. I seen you in film. You a little puppy dog. We're the big dogs over here today.
And you know what? And that's it's like this. BG said, look, man, I'm the juice. I'm coming with the juice. If I'm on the sideline, I got juice. If I'm on the field, I got you. Plus, BG makes the game fun. Cause you going, dude, you do this I do this every day. He like, ask my wife and kids. They got to deal with it too. They got my house is lit. So, hey man, like I said, I think trash talkers, I don't think we have enough of them. I think too many guys now are so afraid to let their personality come out. Man, we go out. Let's talk a little trash. Let's have a little fun. I got a chance to a guy I played with named Derek Mason, one of the best receivers I ever played with the Titans. This is before I got to the Titans. They playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers, going back to Joey Porter. And Joey Porter's talking trash to Derek Mason, and Derek Mason told Joey Porter, you need to shut your mouth up. That's why you got shot. And he really got shot before. And they said, Joey Porter said, really, dude, you gonna say that to me, dude? And it's like, it kind of threw Derek off. Because Derek, like, look, man, and he said, dude, that's how you feel. It's almost like, hey, I ain't trying to hurt his feelings. You think I hurt his feelings? Like, and when I got a chance to interview D Mace one time, and when I asked D Mace about it, he like, yeah, man, I was a little savage in that moment. But he said I might have took it too far. Because even Joey Porter, the alpha male Joey Porter, he felt a type way because he said he wouldn't stop talking about it. During the game, he was after the game. You go up to him and talk to him, have a little conversation. He said, hey, man, that was messed up, right? Like, you ain't have to go there. Yeah, you're right. Right? You know what I'm saying? But Jalen Ramsey, big time trash. Oh, God, big time trash talker. Quarterbacks talk a lot. I know who should be on there. Jair Alexander. Now he played for the Ravens. He played for Green Bay. Big time trash talker. Like, just type in Jair Alexander and Stephon Diggs. They can't even walk out the tunnel. They can't even walk on the field. I love something. Like, let's get it started. It's like this. Let's get it started right now. Because, hey, man, because we boosted up. Hey, Jair, tell us about – no. They asked Jair, what did you tell Stephon Diggs walking out the tunnel? He said, nothing, that I'm a grown man and he a little boy. Yes! I told him, you a little boy to me.
Oh, man.
I love it. I'm here for it.
All right, well, obviously, we're gonna get into some talk here. So, over the past few weeks, months, whatever, however you want to look at it, there was a few players that asked for trades from their current team because they couldn't get together and get contracts talk situated. Now, I'm going to start off in Cincinnati because there's a bone I got to pick with them after the fact here. Obviously, trade talks were heating up, but they did finally get Trey Henderson under contract. I think it definitely took way too long because they don't got nobody on the other side of the ball that plays like him. Nor were they going to get anybody that could replace him. Well, regardless if you got picks and a blue chip talent that could potentially do something, who's going to match his production? Because take his production off that defense, they're arguably the worst defense in the NFL over the past 2 seasons, arguably, right?
Yes.
No, I don't think anyone can debate that. So, why are you playing around? I mean, granted, when you look at the totality of this offseason, they get both T. Higgins under contract, they get Jamar Chase under contract, they get Trey Henderson, who well overplayed his contract and deserved to get the contract he just got. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think he's going to help them get back to playoff contention, potential Super Bowl contention? What are you feeling on the Bengals as of right now?
There's disrespect and there's the Bengals. The way Trey Hendrickson missed all the training camp. Trey Hendrickson just wanted what he went out there and earned. Listen, in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you can negotiate. Trey said, what else can I do but give, back-to-back 17 and a half sacks, first team All-Pro 2023, 2024. Y'all gave me a raise. A raise? I don't know what Trey Hendrickson has done to the Bengals for them to do him like this. They do. We don't. There are players that haven't had. There are players that haven't did not even a tenth of what Trey Hendrickson has done, and they got paid. There are players that have never been first team All Pros, second team All Pros, honorable mention All Pros.
Oh, Josh Huff.
I'm just saying. Let's check this out. Hassan Reddick left the Eagles, went to the Jets, and didn't show up, and still got a contract with Tampa before Trey Hendrickson did. I'll never understand this. All I have, Steven, is what I put on tape, right? Mm-hmm. First team All Pro. They said you are what the tape says you are. Okay. I'm a great player on a bad defense. I'm a great player on a bad team. Everybody thought that Shamar Stewart was just being, a spoiled little Ricky. No, he wasn't. That front office don't know what they're doing.
Well, they were trying to put some language in there that I don't think was ever in any rookie contract ever. So Mr. Stewart had absolute every right, and even to the point where he had gone back to start working out with his college football team. I don't think there's a person walking this earth in the media realm that was against what he was doing. So I'm glad that they got that done, but. Man, Cincinnati is just they don't know how to do it right down there. They really don't. So I was showing you this beforehand we got on here, right? So this is from the horse's mouth himself, Mr. Boomer Esiason. We got love for Boomer here on the Fan of the End. But Bengals were getting ready to do their Ring of Honor stuff, and emails had gone out, and basically the Bengals front office were basically saying, we too cheap, and we not footing the bill for this to have our alumni in the building for the Ring of Honor. They were asking players to pay for their own flights. They needed to pay for their own hotel rooms. They were only going to be giving 2 tickets to the game for themselves and one other person. And the players had a day to respond, and there was basically this generic email that was sent out to the entire alumni. And Boom's got a podcast, and he let it be known to the world exactly what was going on. And I do not blame him not one bit for airing that tea out. And I'm going to say it like this. Shame on you, Cincinnati front office, Cincinnati ownership. Your alumni is why a lot of those people who are paying your bills right now are even in the stands, are even supporting your team. So the fact that you're doing that to your alumni and doing this for them to just attend the Ring of Honor, a lot of these guys, they don't have to go to these events. A lot of times they do make changes in their daily routine and plans so you can parade them out there for these type of ceremonies. I think they're hurting themselves in more ways than I think they can even fathom at this point in time. Ben, what's your thoughts here, brother? Because this is next level cheapism.
I think somebody in the front office of the Bengals said, "How can we just kill our image as much as we possibly can in 2025? Let's start with the draft. Let's start with the offseason, not pay Trey. Let's then draft Shamar Stewart, and then he's gonna sit out. Let's then finally give Trey his money. Let's get rid of our leading tackler. Let's make sure Sam Hubbard don't want no part of this, so he retires. And to add insult to injury, let's ask all our alumni that's going to be in the Ring of Honor to not only come back, buy their flights, pay for their hotels. They only get 2 tickets, and they got to respond in a day. Who do you think you are, Cincinnati? So TJ Houshmandzadeh, Carson Palmer, Chad Ochocinco, right? All these guys got the same email, and it was like, what is this? Is this real? When people start asking, dude, what are the inner workings of a franchise? Cincinnati is showing you. You want to know why they're not going to be good over the long haul? Because it is. Are you saying that, Ben, are you saying a guy like Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow's talent is going to be wasted? Ask Chad Ochocinco, ask TJ Houshmandzadeh, ask Rudy Johnson, right? Ask Carson Palmer. Ask Andy Dalton, ask AJ Green. Ask them what happens. Good, some incredible players that came through there. Why they never won nothing? Because on the scene is only on the scene of anything only happens because of off the scene. And since the worst front office in football is Cincinnati.
Oh no! I mean, I think I got it, Ben. I think I figured it out. They're taking all their notes from Jerry Jones at this point in time. They have to be. They absolutely have to be. You can't tell me these two aren't in cahoots at this point in time because it looks like the same game plan.
Exactly, and you know, and it's being executed perfectly. Like if you ask Jerry Jones, I mean, what's going on in Cincinnati? I think they're doing it right. Really? Why? Well, they're getting. Listen, they're not playing their top. They're not playing their top rookie until he making him look like he's the problem, and he wasn't. You're not paying the top pass rusher in the last 2 years because we think he wants too much. T. Higgins essentially got a 1-year deal. He's ranked in the top 100. Devonta Smith now. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Boomer Esiason won an MVP as a Cincinnati Bengal. He got to pay for his own flight and his own food. And you only get 2 tickets. You only get 2. What does that mean? That means if you want extra tickets, you got to pay for them. And they ain't even telling you what these seats are. It might be the cheap seats. It might not even be good seats. I don't understand why the Bengals think they got this much leverage to do this kind of dumb stuff consistently in a row. Just dumb. And like I said, Stephen, when people start saying, could you imagine how good Joe Burrow could really be if he had a stable organization around him? I'm talking about the decision makers. I'm talking about the players. Just decision makers. The only reason why they don't mess with Joe is because Joe is Joe. Because Joe Burrow, like, hey, dude, what are y'all doing? Let me get this straight. You're asking guys in the Ring of Honor to pay for everything. If you got inducted to your high school Hall of Fame, they're going to pay for you to get there. They're going to give you how many tickets you want, how many tickets you want, how many guys you want to, how long you want to talk. Not, hey, man, I know you live in California now. You play football in Florida. We want you to fly out because we want to honor you. No, the hell you don't. You don't want to honor me if I got to fly there. Well, I mean, what kind of flight you want? Do you want to Cincinnati? I would love to keep laughing at y'all, but I'm going to run out of it's either between y'all and I don't got any more laugh between y'all and Dallas. And to you Dallas Cowboys fans to talk about they got the Netflix special. Yeah, I get it, but I don't want to hear about the history because that's all you got. All you got is the 90s. The 90s.
Here's the funny part. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to get into this one for a second about the Netflix thing. Because you've seen fans all over social media. It was like, the Eagles got their entire history and they couldn't get an 8-part series. I'm like, do you realize even the bad times that there could be an 8-part series about any franchise, not just the Eagles. Eagles, there's different eras you could have an 8-part miniseries about on Netflix. We're only talking about this right now because this is the only thing you guys can talk about that is bring any relevance to anything right now. Because your current history, you got Dak, everyone's like, oh, well, he's got the same numbers as Tony Romo at this point in time. Well, what did Tony Romo do? Nothing. You're sitting there trying to hold your guy up, and he's done nothing. Your organization has done nothing in 30 years. So, like, I get it, dude. You're holding on to them old trophies, like it's the last turkey leg at Thanksgiving dinner. I get it. But I mean, it is getting ridiculous. I love the Cowboy Nations fans, and a lot of them are actually good people. They just they just still believe in the Tooth Fairy, and the Tooth Fairy is Jerry Jones.
They still listen. They're sitting there. Cowboy. If I see another Cowboy fan or content creator saying, "Look, I'm not being biased when I say this, but that's a great documentary." No, it is not. Jerry Jones wants us to know this is how I got the Cowboys and I lost $300,000. And I'm like, no.
We will get to Dallas in a minute, but I wanted to get to another contract situation because I'm glad because I didn't want to hear any excuses this upcoming season. And Scary Terry got his numbers. He's got he waited all off season to get the same contract AJ Brown got last season. So he's not a top 5 paid receiver. Garrett Wilson actually getting paid more than him. DK Metcalf is getting paid more than him. Even even CD Lamb, the king of the slot, is getting paid more than him. But obviously Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson being deserved to be at the top of that list. But I actually thought what was cool about this is the incentive program that they set up for him over the next few seasons, and he gets per day game bonus. If he gets over 83 catches, he gets $300K. If he gets over almost to 1,100 yards, he gets another $300K, $500K for over 10 touchdown passes, and another escalator for first or second team All Pro. And it's basically that same number throughout the life of the contract. But this is something y'all could have situated before Terry got to the media and started asking for to be traded. There's no reason it took you all off season, and he was in a different situation because he was hurt. He was just taken off the PUP list less than a few weeks ago, so it wasn't like he wasn't available for you guys to hammer this out before it got to the week before the season started. So I want to say this to Commander fans. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all got your boy. You absolutely needed him signed while you still have Jaden Daniels under this rookie contract. But no excuses when it's still BTA this season when my boys put their foot up your hind parts. Go ahead, brother. What are your thoughts on this?
Why do players got to go through all this just to get the money? You knew you was going to give them the money. Everybody talking about Scary Terry the entire preseason saying, "Hey man, all you got to do is just go out there." I'm not going out there. So you show love to your second year QB by not giving him his number one all preseason, all training camp, to then give him his money because you realize real quick there ain't a quarterback in the league that doesn't have a number one receiver that's worth anything. You got to have a quarterback. A quarterback is only as good as the guys they're throwing to. Scary Terry got his money. But who look around? AJ Brown saying, all right, I know I just signed Howie, but if I go out there, because I like Scary Terry. He's a good receiver. He is. He shouldn't have had to do all this.
He shouldn't have.
When are we going to get to the point where we start taking care of our best players? Taking care of our captains. Once again, they make it much. These GMs got this playbook of just we gonna just wait for what? But here's the thing, and you know this too, Steven. Football players can only get better in football when they're playing, not football activities, not practice, but the game. Scary ain't been out there. And I think he's 30 years old. Them 30-year-old hamstrings, 30-year-old calf muscles, and they're gonna have to be firing. The last time I saw Scary Terry, he was on the field by himself, walking around, kicking the can down the field, saying, "I'm over there." So, hey, but I do agree, Steven. No excuses, Commanders. No excuse. You got your guy. Yeah, you're gonna add your off-season pieces, add your draft picks. Jaden Daniels can do no wrong. We will see, because guess what? The Eagles are saying, we want you at your best because we're gonna make you look bad no matter who it is. Because the one thing nobody wants to talk about in the Beast NFC East is them boys from Philly. They're like, yeah, them guys right there, yeah, we're going to have to deal with them. So, hey, man, shout out to Sam Howell, man. Talk about going to bed like this and waking up an Eagle. Congratulations to that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was born out of necessity as Tanner McKee broke his finger. We knew Tanner McKee was gonna be the number 2 as of his start in week 18 of last season. I already knew it. I seen it in the 2 preseason before that. He was just he's what you typically envision for your pocket quarterback, standing tall, moving in the pocket, manipulating the pocket, making the correct reads and throws down the field. He's what I guess the mold is for what an NFL quarterback should be. I was actually surprised that I didn't see any potential trade offers. I don't know if there was, but I'm glad that he's still here in Philadelphia. The kid they drafted in the 6th round, he got cut. You bring in a veteran like Sam, and to even more of the weirdness of the quarterback realm. Obviously, me and you talked about this. We already called it. Kenny Pickett was not going to be on the Browns roster. I thought he was going to be down there in New Orleans. That's wrong. He's in Las Vegas, backing up Geno Smith. And the quarterback carousel continues for our boy Carson Wentz now. Since being an Eagle, he's been to Indianapolis, been to Washington, been to L.A., been to Kansas City last year. Now he's in Minnesota backing up J.J. McCarthy, and I think that's a good potential spot for him to potentially get starter reps if J.J. gets hurt, if he's not quite not looking up to snuff. I think he's a good backup option. What are your thoughts on the Carson Wentz situation there?
Carson Wentz better call Sam Darnold and say thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for doing what you did last year in Minnesota to give a guy like me an opportunity to potentially still have an NFL job, because somebody is trying to show that Carson Wentz was worth it when he got drafted, even though it didn't work out with the Eagles. And then you talk about he's been about the quarterback carousel. Let me say this about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, outside of being not the best teammate in Philly, I think has learned if you can provide value, you can be on the squad. As long as you can provide value. Sam Darnold showed Minnesota your number 2 better be just as good and efficient and effective as your number 1. Because if somebody gets hurt, we want the train to still be on the track. Now, Carson, I think because he's played for other teams, because I guarantee you, Minnesota, they calling Kansas City. They talking to Andy Reid. They talking to the QB coach. They say, oh, man, great teammate, man. Great guy. I think what Philly showed Carson Wentz is, hey, man, you ain't good enough to ruffle no feathers now. You ain't good enough to do that. And I think he's learned. Because here's the thing, Steven, that no one wants to talk about. People saying, what kind of career does a quarterback hope to have? Everybody would love to have Peyton. Everybody would love to have – you're not going to have Tom Brady. But somebody, Phillip Rivers or those type of guys. What about Charlie Batch? How long Charlie Batch played in the NFL as a backup? 15 years, 16 years, 15 years, 16 years. People saying he was only making $2 or $3 million. Listen, 16 times 2 is 32. That's 32 mil to be a backup, to be an NFL player. I know now he does like sports media stuff. Carson Wentz is accepting. Carson Wentz and Andy Daltons of the world and the Sam Darnolds of the world and the Kenny Pickett's of the world and the Jameis Winstons of the world are 3 things. They're captains. They can influence the locker room, and they're mentors to these quarterbacks, especially when they're younger than them. So, hey, Carson, congratulations on being in Minnesota. There are worse places you could have been. I mean, and I think for him, J.J. McCarthy's going to need every single he's going to need all the advice, wisdom that Carson Wentz can get him. But I think the winner is, like I said, I think Sam Howell, for you guys, I think that's the big winner in all these quarterbacks moving around for this reason. They said if Kenny Pickett can do it, Sam, you can do this, man. Why? We bring you into a winning culture and show you how winners look, what winners do, how winners practice and perform. You good. Because no matter what, Sam Howell did not win a championship, but people are going to associate him with a winner because he's over there with them. So, congratulations.
I'll say this. I think Sam's in the right place, especially if he wants to try to start somewhere next season. Remember what Kenny Pickett said when the season was over, right? Remember what he said? He didn't learn how to be, so he got here. Where did he start his career? Oh, that's right. Mike Tomlin. Everyone talks about how great of a coach Mike Tomlin is, right?
Yep.
Well, obviously we know Mike isn't the top influencer minds of offense in the NFL. He's a defensive coach. So let's call it what it is. And I think he made a terrible decision last season, giving the reins back over to Russell Wilson when 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 Mr. Fields was balling, had them. I think they were 10-1, 10-2. They look like the Eagles of 2023 when they just everything fall. All the wheels fall off after week 12. I think what was it? I think they lost like 7 or 8 straight games. So it's an interesting thing. But I think being here in Philadelphia should help Sam potentially land a starting job at one of these teams that was going to need a quarterback this next season. So big shout out to him.
That's if he wants to be a. Because I will say this: there's nothing like being wanted. Like Philadelphia. I'm gonna say this again. I don't care who the player is. I don't care where they play. I don't even know what Philadelphia area code is. When the Papa Boy, hello, is this so? Yes, because everybody wants to know what it's like to be a part of a winning franchise, to be around a winning mindset, a winning culture, a winning team. And for Sam Howell, he could be like, look, I want to make sure I provide as much value to this Philadelphia Eagles franchise, because you know what's crazy about it? There are two kinds of backups. There are guys that fill in when the starter gets hurt, and there are Philadelphia Eagle quarterback backups. That's a different kind of pressure, because they will blame it on you if we don't stick to what we was doing if Jalen need a couple of games. Because if we would have put a heart monitor on Kenny Pickett in 2024, woo! Because he's like, dude, I do not want to be the reason why this thing don't do what it does. And he kept it going. What does a backup on a winner have to do? They have to be efficient. You don't have to be great. You just can't be bad. Got to be efficient. And now Kenny Pickett got one of the biggest championship rings you ever seen in your life. Got wings on it.
That thing is gaudy big. Listen, I obviously I love myself a championship ring. Don't get me wrong, but that thing.
That thing. Listen, that thing comes with a briefcase, because that's how big it is. It fill up the whole briefcase with one ring. You open it up like a laptop.
Man.
Like, yeah, man.
They say they do it big in New York. No, they don't. They do it big here in Philadelphia.
You ain't lying. They run their big mouths in New York. They definitely run their big mouths in Texas, but they don't win a lot.
Now, want to get into a few more football topics as we get into it. We got to talk about the Shedeur Sanders situation, but I want to bring up Urban Meyer's comments on Shedeur. This was literally right before the last preseason game, right? Talking about his character, the type of person he is, things like that, right? And obviously we don't got a whole lot for Urban Meyer here, right? for obvious reasons, but doesn't mean that he doesn't have a football mind, and we shouldn't listen to some of the things he said. I think a lot of things he's sitting there saying is right. I think Shedeur is a guy that at some point you are going to want to build your franchise around him to get to maximize the type of talent he is. And he's right. Not a lot of people may not like the spotlight, the flashiness, but he's been brought up in that. He's shown that doesn't affect who he is on the field, who he is in life. So I think at some point someone's going to realize the type of talent Shedeur Sanders that it is. It's clearly not Cleveland. What happened this past week, the last preseason game? He didn't have a good showing. Let's call it what it is. And we all know that this happens, especially when you getting into the guys that he had on the field. The thing is out of the 6 linemen that were blocking for him on that last preseason game, only one of them is still currently on the team. See? So that I'm going to point that out. Did I think he did a terrible job of holding on to the ball too long? Yes. That's what rookie quarterbacks do. When he bailed out, he went backwards. That's another cardinal sin in quarterbacking. He had a bad game. But I also think when the 2-minute drill came in and you brought in a quarterback that you were going to cut in 3 days is also not only disservice to him, but you as a football team and evaluating the type of person that Shedeur Sanders is. it looks like between the trade and everything else, he is going to be on the Cleveland Browns 52-man roster. He's probably going to be the third or fourth quarterback on the roster. But I think Cleveland did themselves a great disservice, and I think they've kind of showed that they brought him in as a novelty. As you know, I don't think they have the faith in him that you should have in a young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders. Do I think he's going to start on any 32 football teams that we have in the NFL right now? No. And he shouldn't have to right now anyway. He should be trying to acclimate himself to, the speed of the game, the thing he needs to look for, the things he needs to do better at, that he probably will, to potentially start in a year from now, 2 years from now, things like that. So if I'm a team that needs a quarterback, I'm calling Cleveland and see what I can do to get him out of there and to get him in my room to kind of be better. I've already said it. I think the LA Rams should really look into trying to bring him in there and have somebody like Matthew Stafford mentor him for a year, maybe even two. Maybe you keep Matt past this upcoming season to kind of groom him in a way. I don't think that's not something Joe Flacco would be opposed to. I just don't think that the organization overall wants to have him in the driver's seat. Ben, first, what were your initial thoughts on Urban's comments, and what are your thoughts on what is kind of unfolding as the Shedeur Sanders situation goes along?
I believe that what Urban Meyer just stressed about Shedeur Sanders is why people are afraid of him, because he is polarizing. He's not just a football player. He's already, the jersey sales already speak for itself. You saw what he did in college, and he has a famous last name because he has a famous Hall of Fame dad. All that being said, he can play football. If the Cleveland Browns expect me to believe that Shedeur Sanders isn't worth all the hype, why would you trade Kenny Pickett? Why would you trade Kenny? You could have easily kept Joe, Kenny, Dylan, and cut Shedeur. No, we've never seen a fifth-round draft pick at any level get this level of praise, scrutiny, and attention and exposure. Now, the Cleveland Browns are a bad franchise. If you really wanted Shedeur Sanders to get a real look, why did you not put him in there with the starters? Why do you got him out there? Tyler Huntley, you were going to cut him. You brought him in because you didn't want Joe Flacco to play. You wanted Joe Flacco to be healthy for week one. Shedeur Sanders, I do agree with you, though, Steven. You got to have a plan for him. I don't care what team he's on. Cleveland is where quarterbacks go to die. Any one of them. Drafted, pick up in free agency, third round, fifth round, no round. Shedeur Sanders is good for business, and he can play football. Now, does he have things he needs to work on? Yep, all 32 quarterbacks do. There ain't a quarterback in the league don't got something to work on. You don't believe me? The best, we most consider Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback in football, depending on who you ask. What did he do in the Super Bowl? Did he roll right, throw left? What happened? Pick six? You can't do. That's the best quarterback in football doing that. In the Super Bowl. So when you talk about he got to work on stuff, that's any quarterback. Pick any one of them, they got to work on something. And if they don't have to work on anything, they're not going to last long. I think for Shedeur Sanders, though, Steven, it comes down to this. I believe he's built for everything he's dealing with because of who his daddy is and what his daddy taught him. Even Shiloh got cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to keep saying this. There are certain people that need football, and there are certain people that want football. Shedeur wants it. He don't need it. He's just really, really good at it. He's going to be a story as long as he's in the National Football League, because we want to see how he's going to look as a starter. And I don't care what Cleveland says. If you was happy with Dylan Gabriel in the third, why did you draft Shedeur in the fifth? That makes no sense if you like Dylan. So we're going to be watching. I appreciate Urban Meyer kind of giving an insight on what he really is. And you know why it's easy for Urban to say what he would do? Because he don't got the coaching. Let me tell you what some of these coaches do now. They're great storytellers. They're great motivators. Oh, man, if I was his coach, are you coaching anymore, Urban? Oh, no, I do TV now. Yeah, because didn't you have a number one overall pick? Yeah. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence, didn't you? Yeah. What'd you do? I effed it all the way up. I'm talking about top to bottom. So I take what Urban Meyer say with a grain of salt, even if I can respect what he's saying. But, Steven, that's like saying that we watch football and say, yeah, man, back in my day, I would have, because I know I don't got to go out there. I don't got to go out there and deal with none of them boys out there right now. Oh, man, when I played, I would have. Urban is giving insight to how some of these coaches really think and some of these GMs and presidents and owners think. And I get it. They think if Shedeur becomes Shedeur and he helps build a culture like he did in Colorado, like he did in Jackson State, what does that mean when I give him a new contract? And now because they're saying two things. If he has the opportunity to become the face of a franchise, he got the opportunity to become the face of a league, depending on what happens with him. I'm not saying the second gonna happen, but we will be watching, Steve, because here's the thing. We ain't got no other reason to watch Cleveland unless Shedeur is under center. I love your Myles Garrett, not watching that. Love your Denzel Ward, not watching that. I think for the Cleveland Browns, they hit the jackpot with a fifth rounder, and they don't want to admit it because the owner comes out and says, I didn't want him. I wouldn't have picked Shedeur Sanders. The GM picked him, but I trust their decision. That's the dumbest.
Now you're going to bring me to my next point on this, and then we're going to go to Tampa Bay because you just brought off Shiloh. So Eric Dickerson, was doing his podcast, and obviously no one cared for him last season because he was trying to discredit everything Saquon Barkley was accomplished because he was sweating bullets and as Saquon was about to break his record with maybe less than 50 carries than he did. But he basically said, that there was absolutely collusion into not drafting this kid, that the NFL did not want him here, did not want him drafted high, didn't want him drafted at all. And, Cleveland kind of went against the grain and went and grabbed him where they grabbed him. And do you think ED has any insight to say that the NFL colluded told these coaches, GMs, scouts to leave his boy alone? Or is he just talking from personal experience? What are you thinking here?
I do think he has insight. Here's the problem. If we cannot prove it, it don't matter. Eric Dickerson could be 100% correct in what he's saying. I believe in what he's saying, right? Is this the same NFL that knew about what concussions really do, and they went from $750 million to a $1 billion settlement to the players? Is it the same NFL, right? That knows about a lot of stuff. I mean, that colluded against Colin Kaepernick, right? This is the same NFL that colluded and say they don't want to do guaranteed contracts. What is going to happen to the NFL? Nothing. So while I agree with what Eric is saying, Eric Dickerson, I want to know how many times this calendar year for football he going to have to talk about that collusion. Because this is going to become what he's known for this year. Because I mean, Steven, you know this just like I know this. As content creators, as podcasters, we can say something that goes so viral that people, hey man, we're like, hey man, they say you calling me, so man, I'm going on MSNBC. What? Yeah, they want to talk to me about. I'm telling you, football is that polarizing. Is what Eric Dickerson's saying yet true? Yes. Can it be proven? We don't know. That's the part.
At least not yet.
At least not yet. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If an NFL owner called Eric Dickerson phone on private and say this is so-and-so, and we did collude, prove it. Prove it. So when he said it, I was like, once again, if I say a quarterback is a game changer or a game manager, and if Cam says it, that's different. If Eric Dickerson says something, Hall of Fame Eric Dickerson, who still got the most rushing yards in the season, says it, it means something. Here's the thing, though, Eric, you got to know. Don't try to push back now. This is what you said. So when people get to coming at you, because here's the thing, Steven. There's this thing called receipts. You're going to have to show us where that comes, which means you might have to out some people. Uh-oh. You don't. Now, some of your friend, hey, man, I told you can't use my name. I told you not to say that, ED. So I do agree with what he's saying, and I believe that's what's happening. And you know what the 32 NFL owners say? So prove it. Because last time I checked, if somebody accused me of something, Steven, I got to go to court. I don't got to say a word. They got to prove it. They accuse me, right? I'm just here because I got summoned. I ain't got nothing to say, though. Mr. Troupe, I plead the fifth, Your Honor. I will not say anything to incriminate myself. That's what they said. So, ED, hey, man, you started this fire. We fanning the fire. Let's go. Let's see how big this fire can get. But I do believe him. But open-ended statements without evidence to back it up. Come on, ED. You've been around too long for that now. Like you it's almost like you got to weigh the consequence or the cost before you make that. But hey, I'm only repeating what you said, ED. And we'll see if it comes out. And if it does come out, it'll come out in the Netflix special like 30 years from now. It'll come out. And don't want to care. Don't want to care for it.
All right. Well, obviously a lot of young players' hearts were broken over the past, 24, 48 hours. And I'm going to bring this one up because why'd you even bring this boy in? Obviously, down there in Tampa, they were holding this boy hostage. They told him he needed to lose weight, couldn't practice, couldn't do anything. And, he lost damn near 30 pounds. From the time he got drafted to the time they cut him, 24 hours ago. What are your thoughts on this situation? Because I just feel like it was, you were giving this guy hope, and then at the same time you were putting him in a situation where he couldn't even do anything about it.
When Big Dez got picked up as a free agent by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I already knew that they were going to show him, look, man, you're a feel-good story. But you've overcome a lot. You've lost a lot of weight and still have a lot of weight to lose. We cannot justify giving you a roster spot when we already know that your conditioning is not there. We already know that you can't help us consistently down in and down out. Well, we bring you in on further second down, take you off the field on third down, bring you in short yardage situations. You can't be a specialist as a rookie. You become a specialist as you get older. A guy that played on the outside end up coming to the slot. A guy like BG go from being an everyday starter, we bring him in on third down. But he's already proven he can play first, second, and third down. But Big Dez is a cautionary tale like this. Man, you got to show us that you care about your own health before we can put you out there. For a big player in the National Football League, a big dude is, 370, 380. That's big. 460, 400 anything. So I think for Big Dez is hopefully what the Bucs are doing for him is waking him up, saying, yes, we went to the same school, went to the University of Florida. Let me tell you something. At the University of Florida, man, he was on scholarship and he earned it. I mean, he lost a whole bunch of weight, but he ballooned back up again. See, he lost it to get the scholarship, to get the attention, to get the spot, and then he ballooned back up once he got the scholarship. What the Bucs are saying is this: we're not gonna reinvent the wheel. There isn't room for 400 and something pound players in no sport, not a team sport. So I hope that Big Dez continues to lose weight, and I hope that Big Dez understands that what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave you was an opportunity. What you do with it at this point is on you. Everybody's saying they shouldn't have did him like that. Did him like what? What did they do him like? Name a player that you can remember that big and productive. You can't, because it's not going to happen. So
my thing is, like, listen, I agree with you that you want to hold him accountable for his conditioning and getting his weight down and stuff like that, but not letting him practice or do anything. It was like, why did you sign him to begin with? I
can tell you why. Well, here's why. Here's another thing, Steven. All right, me and Steven, we are NFL. We the 33rd team in the NFL. We are a expansion franchise. We got a team in, I don't know, we somewhere in America that hopefully got good weather, that don't get too cold in the winter. We bring in Big Dez. There's always people in your organization that run up to you and put something in your hand. You saying, what is this? Liability. If he gets injured, got to pay for that. If he's in a DeMar Hamlin type situation from the Bills to where he goes out there and he doesn't get up, how do we justify a player that we've never seen in the NFL ever? We ain't never seen a player like him. He is the first of, think about it, he is the first of his kind. Well,
he is.
I think what Tampa was saying is this. They saying, look, man, you're a professional athlete, right? You just came from the University of Florida, right? The biggest brand in the state of Florida. Why do we?
I think they were. I think they intend to dress him week 4 when he plays the Eagles.
I mean, here's the thing, too, right? Let me show you what I mean. Most players come to training camp a lot slimmer than their playing weight. So just say, you know, if my playing weight is 250, 255, I'll come into camp about 245, right? Because I know I'm gonna gain a couple of pounds, but I gotta run a lot. I got to run a lot. I look like I play for the Hawks when I first get there. Look like I play for the Hawks instead of the Titans. But if you are Big Dez, they're saying, Dez, you supersize big. Like, Dez, you can lose 60 pounds and you still weigh 400 pounds. Most people lose 60 pounds. You don't even know them when you see them. Like, dude, you all right? You good? And I think for Big Dez, they're saying, look, man, we gave you an opportunity. You didn't do enough with it. When we pick you up as a free agent, as soon as your last game is over with Florida, you trying to lose as much weight as possible. As soon as you step on the scale and they say 4, them teams like, a scout gonna write it down. You're not coming to camp. You got to come to Tampa because Tampa got a chance. Tampa is only an hour and a half up the road, and they bring you right there. So for Dez, I don't think it's gonna be the last we see of him, but I do know that when we see him again, if he's the same size, it's not gonna work because here's the thing. You got some big dudes in the league, right? And Big Dez make the big dudes look small. Let me show you what I mean. At the University of Florida right now, they have a center. His name is Olivier. He's from Jacksonville. Oh, no. He went to IMG. He is 7'9". A 7'9" dude make a 7-foot dude look short. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Olivier can dunk without jumping. He stretches by sticking his arms up on the backboard. So, once again, Dez, I'm rooting for you. We all rooting for you. But we rooting for you, I think, for different reasons. We ain't rooting for you to make it as an NFL player. We're rooting for you to get your health under control, get your weight under control. And if you still got some, I mean, you what, 21, 22 years old, you're still a very young dude. If it's important to you, you're going to do everything you need to do to get the weight down. And if it's not, this is going to be one of those things. Tampa looked real good by bringing you in as a free agent. But the first person you met was a strength coach and the nutritionist, and they told you, dude, there ain't no way you're gonna be able to go out there like that. So, I mean, I wish they didn't show him walking on the other field and all these different things. But yeah, man, he's got to
get his weight down. I mean, I absolutely don't disagree with you there, but. If you knew this was the premise that he was already under, I don't know why you bring him in, not letting him practice. Not like he looked like a kid who someone stole his ball and they on the playground and no one would let him play. That's my only issue because you mentally messing with this kid on top of him already knowing that he's out of shape, he's overweight, things like that. Not to sit there saying he's not a young man that kind of knows he has responsibilities, he has to take accountability for himself. But it's just the way that it was being done, I didn't particularly care for. I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. Yeah. But just from my thing is like they could have did right by him in other ways. Maybe have be like, listen, you know, we're gonna put you in line for a future contract when you get to X weight, and then not actually sign him and let him show me the work you're going to put in before I even invest anything into it. Probably would have sat better with me, but like I said, I don't know the particulars on any of that. But let's move on. I want to quickly get into Shiloh being cut. Obviously, his last game he was ejected. There was a non-call where some pushing and shoving. Shiloh didn't take too kindly to it. Wound up throwing his hands. I think kind of sped up the process of him being cut after the fact. Obviously, Todd Bowles wasn't too happy with him. I've been hearing rumors that the aforementioned Mike Tomlin has been in contact with him. He could wind up in Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's going to happen. Or probably more under a practice squad situation. Do you agree that Shiloh probably should have controlled himself better, but the punch wasn't just him acting out and being frustrated?
Oh yeah, he definitely should have kept his composure. Shiloh got to know he's going to be a target because of what he represents, and Shiloh got to know too he's a very, very aggressive safety. Like if you've ever seen him play, and people gonna play through the whistle. I don't believe Shiloh Sanders was gonna make the Tampa Bay Bucks even if he didn't make the swing, but it makes it an easier decision. When he does, Shiloh Sanders didn't get drafted. That means that he didn't get invited to the combine. So if you just look at his tape, Shiloh is going to get more attention because of his last name than his play. He's a good safety. He's a serviceable safety. He don't jump off the film at you. He don't do anything. He does everything well. He does nothing elite. He ain't doing anything elite. And I think for Shiloh, he gets to learn that, hey man, I'm not good enough to be getting penalties. I'm not good enough to be getting flags thrown on me. No player is. And to swing on the tight end for Buffalo and look at the ref like, yeah, I saw you swing on him. Now, was it a lot of extracurriculars going on between him and that tight end? Yes. But if you are Shiloh, you got to play smart. You can't let your emotions get the best of you. But let me say this. He got a plan no matter what happened to him. If he's going to be good with or without football, he definitely wants to pursue a football career. And I do think somebody's going to give him a chance to be on a practice squad. But Shiloh, the last thing Shiloh wants to be is a distraction. The last thing he wants to do is be getting clicks and clips for the wrong reasons. And just like I said before, I've never seen an undrafted rookie get feedback and criticism as much as Shiloh. Like we saw it. We saw him swing and all these different things. But Todd Bowles, that look he gave him, like what are you doing? Look, you don't want to be doing stuff like that. But he'll be all right. I think somebody's gonna give him a shot. Even Ryan Clark, son Jordan Clark, got waived by the Jets. They're gonna bring him back on the practice squad. Look, having a famous daddy that did some incredible things in football doesn't guarantee you anything. You don't believe me? Both of Michael Jordan's sons played basketball. Both of them went to UCF, and both of them was okay players. They did all right. So just because my daddy is who he was, don't mean I'm going to do what I do. I'm rooting for everybody, whether your last name Clark, Jordan, Sanders. If your last name Rychel, let's do it. I'm rooting for you. And I think for some of these guys, some of these young men who are legacy players, that's a different type of scrutiny because either people want to know about you or they want to know about you enough to ask about your dad and y'all inner workings. But Shiloh will be all right, man. A bunch of guys got cut. Hunter Renfrow got cut by Carolina. So guys are going to get cut whether you a vet, a drafted rookie, which nobody don't talk about enough, or undrafted rookie. So he'll be all right. He learned a lot in Tampa. That boy was down there doing food reviews. They love Shiloh in freaking Tampa. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately for him. And speaking of unfortunate situations, I don't know if you've seen this one. Apparently, Andy Reid's office had some ricochets coming through. It was they found a bullet within 15 feet of his desk. We already talked about cars and unnecessary nonsense with that, but what is people running around trying to shoot a big Red's office, man?
I will say this: whoever's in charge of security for Kansas City, Every
just lost his job.
Exactly. They just lost their job, and every security firm and organization in the Kansas City area is flooding calls right now to Kansas City facility saying, "Hey, this will
we can do better. we can do it better than this. This will never happen again."
Now, listen, number one, we happy that Big Red did not get Andy Reid did.
Yes, absolutely. Get hit. That would have been horrendous.
But number two, what are we doing? Like, look.
Why do you need a gun if you're going to the Kansas City Chiefs football facility? What do you need a gun for? Explain.
Exactly. I mean, what? So let me get it straight. Hey, man, I'm gonna shoot at Andy Reid's office. Why? Oh no, it's just like we need to, some of us need to really, really reevaluate what we're doing in our lives and stuff like that. Like, come on, man. Number one, they're coming for you. Whoever did it, you better have been wearing all black. I mean, everything. You can't even see your face, right? Because they said a gunshot. Somebody shot it, and they have to figure out who that is. And when they find you, whatever you get, you get. Don't give me that. I didn't know that was gonna happen. You didn't know that when you shoot a gun with with bullets in it, it's gonna. So whatever you get, Big Red. We happy that you all right. Well, people, let's do better. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is. I'm glad no one got hurt. Again, I'm gonna say again, I don't know why you need a firearm if you're visiting the Kansas City Chiefs football facility. I could understand if you walk around Kensington Ave here in Philadelphia, that there's a reason to have a gun there. When you at a professional team's facility, I don't think you need a gun. I don't care if you're in Philadelphia, if you're in Missouri, if you're in California. I don't think you need a gun. I'm not telling that security shouldn't have a gun just because you don't know what idiots out there in the world are. Now, if this was one of the security officers, it'd be absolutely even funnier. But that's why they have this thing called a safety. Pew pew, no pew pew. Okay, yeah, you know what that is. Unless it's one of those situations where it was like a misfire or something like that is the only thing I can understand. But other than that, glad no one was hurt. Glad Big Red's okay. Hopefully, whoever did it, kind of was like, listen, I didn't know what I was doing. I shouldn't have had a firearm. But we just talked about Kansas City. I have to bring it up. We all knew this was going to happen after the Super Bowl, but the Eagles kind of ruined it for them. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift officially engaged, according to Mr. Kelce's, that they've actually been engaged a few weeks. They just announced it on social media yesterday. That being said, please, media members, stop asking about Taylor and Travis. I know we live in a day and age where we have to know everything. We have to be involved in everything, right? I get it. Let them live their lives, people, please. I get it. Taylor Swift is the biggest music star in North America right now. I get it. She could possibly be the biggest star in the world right now as far as the music business goes. That being said, Travis Kelce is one of the top 5 tight ends in the NFL, potential Hall of Famer, all that fun stuff. We don't need to be sitting there asking everyone involved in their lives what's going on with Taylor and Travis's wedding. I don't want to know what dress she's wearing. I don't want to know what venue it's going to be at. Let the people that deals with the entertainment side of what the media business handle these questions. Do not be asking Travis's teammates. Do not be asking Patrick Mahomes. Anyone but I hope that Travis kind of puts a nix on this, and because Andy Reid had already did his press conference, and then some other random guy from the team came up afterwards, and the news broke, and they're asking him about it. Stop doing this. Stop. I get it. It's probably one of the bigger things that's going to happen this year or next year, depending on when they do decide to get married. It'll probably be next year because of the way the football season works. But it does not need to run. The new does not need to dominate the news cycle anytime the Kansas City Chiefs go anywhere. That's all I'm going to say on it. Wished them the best. Hope they have a great, a great wedding and a great marriage, and that they live the true love story. I do, but let's keep it out of the football talk. That's all I'm going to say. Ben, your thoughts?
No, you're right. You were 100% right, because let me tell you what this opened up the door for. This opens up the door for everybody who is both people are celebrities. Oh, you marry somebody who is a celebrity. Oh, here we go again. Oh my God, this person. Oh, there goes Stephon Diggs and Cardi B. Why did they talk about that? Because it's crazy. They don't want to talk about that one. I will say this, Mr. Kelsey, you made some decisions in your life, sir. I don't know every decision you made, but this one you did it, sir. Congratulations, you did. Because in a sense, that's what everybody's really been saying, though, Steven, without saying out loud. What you waiting on? What you waiting on, Travis? Like, what's going on? Because let me tell you something, though, and I am not wishing this. I hope that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are together forever. I do. But by some chance, they don't end up together down the line.
She's going to have the greatest breakup album in all time.
I'm trying to tell you, it's going to be two CDs in one. One's going to be called Travis. The other's going to be called FU. I don't know what it's going to be called. But and isn't it crazy that we can already see this stuff? Like, yo, Travis, listen, man. Listen. She got a lot. Well,
that's probably what took so long. He wanted to make sure that he was good with everything that's going to be with it. I think it's funny there's people like sitting there saying he dropped the ball by breaking up with his ex. I'm like, no, he didn't. No. He upgraded on every level. Is she not a voluptuous woman? Sure, she ain't a voluptuous woman, but she's arguably the biggest star outside of another athlete in the world right now. They literally almost broke 2 million views on the podcast that they did on New Heights when they had her on dropping the album information and all that. So I think Travis won. Listen,
listen, Travis. Here's the thing, right? I don't know Travis X. I know she was on a podcast, and she said something that I thought was crazy. She said, "Do I look like the type of woman that go 50-50?" You know what I would have said? You're doing 100% by yourself. What do you mean you don't want to go 50-50? So you don't want nobody to help you with half the bills, like cut it in half? I don't go 50-50. Okay, cool. What do you think happened, though? Do you think we know you because of Travis, or Travis because of you? We knew you because of Travis. And I'm wishing that lady nothing but the best. She's a model. You got to walk her down the runway and all these different things. Every time somebody says Travis Kelce dropped the bag, you need to get a life. This ain't got nothing to do with Travis X. This ain't got nothing to do with his current lady. This has to do with people who don't have lives. Leave this lady alone. Travis is good. And let me tell you something. This wedding gonna be televised like the freaking whatever the wedding they do over there in England, man. I mean, this thing gonna be crazy. But I will say this though. Speaking of lists, Travis know a lot of people. To all y'all Travis Kelce friends and best friends, everybody gonna get to be no groomsman, and everybody ain't gonna get no invite to that wedding either. Some of y'all about to be real salty. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think the only thing that Taylor's worried about is what Jason's going to do for the bachelor party. That's probably her only worry about this going forward. But she knows that Jason's going to keep it somewhat vanilla because he ain't going to try to ruin what Taylor and Travis have. So, I think it's going to be a crazy wedding. I think it's going to be something where, unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with this entire season until they do get married. But I agree with you. This is probably going to be the biggest spectacle outside of a sporting event that we probably seen in the past 20 to 30 years as far as weddings and celebrities and things of that nature. But speaking of crazy stuff in the news, we still got to deal with the Micah Parsons situation, and Mr. Schottenheimer was upset when it came out that Micah was basically sleeping on the trainer's table. Basically said that he was going to have a talk with Micah after the event. Being as one, it's a preseason game. Two, what's going on with his contract talks at the moment? I don't blame him for catching some Z's, man. He did, he doesn't have to sit there and do anything when the last preseason game, 9 times out of 10, if you're a veteran, You don't play anyways. So I don't see what people were upset about. And then obviously the stuff that's going on with the contract talks. Jerry Jones flat out lying, sitting there saying that he reached out to the agent, and the agent said, stick the contract up your rear end. Well, then both, I think Jordan Schultz and Ryan Clark himself had reached out to said agent. He said, we never had a conversation. Those words never came out of my mouth. Jerry Jones keeps digging himself deeper and deeper into this grave. And even more so to the fact of what's going on with that contract situation. Former cornerback and Hall of Famer Darrelle Revis has made his comments be known. Now I want to read this off here because I don't know if everybody can see this, but I absolutely agree with everything Darrelle is saying here. When basically, when you look at this as players after every game, we don't get a choice. We're put in front of the media. We're held accountable. Win, lose, miss tackle, game-saving play. It doesn't matter. We have to answer. That's part of the job, and that's why it's unacceptable to see our union leadership avoid the same responsibility now. My question last week about ESPN's article remains unanswered, and now Jerry Jones feels comfortable publicly humiliating our union. I don't know if filing a grievance is necessary or the right battle at this moment, since the fine to him under the CBA amounts to basically pennies. But doing nothing is not an option. At the very least, the NFLPA should be saying they do not condone what Jerry is doing, and that all options are on the table and reminding players that if ownership ever tries to deal with them directly while they have representation, they should contact their agent and or union members immediately. The bigger issue is respect. Jerry's actions show the owners have no problem taking advantage of us, the players, when our union fails to respond and sends the message that they will be able to do the same the next CBA negotiation if the current leadership remains in place. Every player, past, present, future, deserves a union that trusts them, respects them, and supports them. I think Darrelle Revis hit that one out of the ballpark. Hate to use a baseball term right there. Darrelle Revis is probably one of the more level-headed guys that we have still involved with things. He's absolutely right. The CBA has absolutely been violated multiple times by Jerry throughout the years, and hasn't had a grievance filed on him, hasn't been fined, continues to do things the way he wants to do it. And the NFL Players Association is a shell. It's a shell. They're not doing anything, and we already knew this, considering what we've seen, the turnover at the NFLPA that's going on right now. I know there's an interim guy right there, and I'm sure that he is gonna shove this so far under the rug that there's a lump in it. Ben, your thoughts on one, what Micah taking some Z's on the table, and two, what are your thoughts on Darrelle Revis's take on what's going on and what isn't going on?
Love the fact that Darrelle Revis is one of the best players to ever come through the National Football League, Hall of Fame, as you mentioned, Super Bowl champ. He's saying, dude, these things are happening in plain sight, and we just keep keying like it ain't happening. Yes, when you look at a guy like Micah Parsons, once again, we've never seen a player of his caliber get done like this in public. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach, so he got his money before Micah did. Man, stop the nonsense, Darrelle. I appreciate that you put it on paper. I didn't do it in the 270 characters on X. I didn't make an Instagram post. I didn't do it on TikTok or Snapchat. I wrote a letter for people to see it. I'm letting you know the PA for the NFL is a different kind of soft, a different kind of scared, a different kind of timid. Isn't the job of the PA it's the players association, not we gonna be on the side of the players as long as it ain't against the owners. Duh. That's why we need representation. I appreciate Darrelle doing this. Darrelle Revis is a man of few words. I don't remember him talking a lot when he played, but when his play did all the talking for him. But I like the fact he's using his voice. He's saying, why are we letting this happen? Because if one owner can do it, the other 31 owners can do it. And I'm not saying that all owners in the National Football League are bad. I'm saying you can't let not one get away with this. Yes, Michael Parsons could have not be laid out on a training table during the game, but he said, I'm done with y'all. If that's not, I'm sick of y'all, expression or just experience, nothing else says it. Micah's going to get his money. But I'm going to say this. The lies that Jerry Jones is telling, and this is documented stuff. We reached out. We told Michael to come in and told Michael we had an agent. Michael was like, what? We told Michael we got a contract done, and then we told Michael to come in. And Michael like, what my agent? Agent called and said, we all got a contract done. Yeah, because that's how negotiations are done. So Steven has an agent. Steven wants his money. I'm the owner. I've already done your contract. Did you done it with my agent? No, we did it. What? We just talked about what went on over there with Cincinnati. Could you imagine what Jerry Jones' contract gonna look like? What is this? We listen, we're gonna make it the highest pay. I don't care what you're gonna make me. What does the language in the contract say? How do I get my money? When is it given out? What about these injury clauses? Jerry Jones, if anybody has earned the right to not be trusted, it is you. I don't trust nothing you say and do. And sitting down with Stephen A. Smith, saying these things out loud, there are cameras that are filming you, saying, "Yeah, man, we did it." You did what? His contract. You can't do his contract without a negotiation. There is no negotiation when we already did it. The hell it ain't. There's David Mailata. He's one of the best. He's one of the best agents in football. I think he's negotiated over like $2 billion or something crazy at this point. If my agent doesn't help me negotiate my contract, what do I need an agent for? Oh, that's right. That's exactly why I got an agent. So yeah, this thing stinks, but it just adds to what we talked about earlier, Steven. The worst franchise in football is Cincinnati. The most laughable franchise is Dallas because Jerry Jones. What do Stephen Jones do? Why every time they got a camera on Stephen Jones, he on the phone, he talking to his wife. He ain't talking to no other teams. But what do Stephen Jones do? When Jerry Jones said on the documentary, I did watch episode 1, and that's all I need to see. He said, I told my family, I just wanted to just promise me we're gonna do this thing together. What do your family do? Nothing. The family doesn't do anything. So Jerry, this is laughable. This is disrespectful. Micah, man, just don't say anything. I know it's easy for me to say that because I'm not in your position. Just lay low. You're going to get your money. And Micah, all this, you see how Jerry Jones tried to make it seem as if Jerry Jones like drama. Jerry Jones is like, he like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, man. They'll just stir up some stuff to get a buzz going. Just anything. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Jones is a drama. If Jerry Jones was in the NFL as a player, he'd be a diva receiver. Just give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. What's going on? You know, so Jerry Jones has so I don't like when players get done wrong in person because if you are a player not of Michael's caliber coming through the Dallas Cowboys, you think to yourself, CD said Pam. Dak said Pam. That man has, what else do I got to do? 2-time first-team All-Pro, defensive rookie of the year, 2-time second-team All-Pro. I want my money. And every day, and guess what David Mailata told Michael? You will get paid for everything you went through. Every day they play with me, the number's going up. Every day they play with me. So, hey, man, keep doing your thing, Micah. And like I say, people say, hey, man, the circus is coming to town. I say, is the Falcons playing the Cowboys? No. Oh, the circus ain't coming to town. Oh, you're talking about the circus with the animals in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a circus. But the circus, it's in Fort Worth, Texas. It's called Jerry's World. His name is Jerry Jones. He eats sausage biscuits with salt on it. And he's the only owner that has a podcast, a radio show, and does interviews every day of his life. And we will be watching, not because we think they're going to do anything credible, but I just want to be there when the circus, does a trampoline act, trapeze act and all that. So it's the Cowboys. It's not the Cowboys. It's Jerry Jones. So we should say to Jerry Jones. But don't worry. In a little less than a week, the whole world going to know why you doing all these antics. Because y'all sure ain't finna be showing up on the field. And I cannot wait.
Yeah, I think most Eagle fans can't wait for it for multiple reasons. But before we finish up on a few of the football topics, I want to get to something baseball from last night, right? And we already talked about it on here. The umpires are the next biggest divas that we have in sports. They are the softest, most egotistical crybabies on the face of sports today. I'm going to play two little videos kind of totaling like about 40 seconds or so, but sit through this one, digest this one, Ben. This is absolutely ridiculous and laughable. Enjoy.
Oh, he's whooping at the umpire. And Lozardo's just been ejected from the game after being pulled from the game.
I mean, I felt amazing today. I'm not really an emotional guy. Pretty calm out there for the most part. Just when I think something's not fair, I'll make sure to stick up for it. And I think that what happened there was, I didn't think it was right, at least in my eyes. But like I said, I thought I said my piece and we moved on from it. So that it is what it is.
What was the explanation you got?
He told me I stopped in my windup at some point, and then he called time. I told him I didn't stop, and that was it. I wasn't going to sit there and argue anymore. There was no point.
The whole thing initially started where Jesus was mid-pitch, and Juan Soto had called timeout late. It looked like it was a ball anyways, but winds up walking Soto. The bases get loaded. So after he's getting pulled, he's letting the umpire know, like, hey, get your bleeping head in the game. He's being removed from the game, and he throws him out of the game. How can you toss somebody that is no longer going to be involved in the game anyway? And this is going back to I can't wait for the ABS system to be implemented in baseball, because less of these situations are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, regardless if he's barking at you or not, we're allowed. When we see BS, we're allowed to call BS and not be expedited from the game from it.
Yes.
So, appreciate the comment, Amani Bentley. Let's go Birds. I'm sure we all can't wait for that. So, but back to the baseball in this Philly point here. Like, when is enough with these umpires? I'm at a loss. Like, I definitely feel Jesus' frustration there, where you're basically calling the ump out for not doing his job. And these guys are so sensitive that no one could say anything to them. They immediately remove them from the game. We see it all the time when like guys have problems with balls and strikes and they touch their hat, which is touch their helmet, and they get yanked from the game. Like, there is not a group of referees, anything that are this soft and sensitive that anytime you question anything they do, they run you from the game. We're talking about the ridiculous stuff that Rob Manfred's trying to implement and make them get this. You start with the umpires, because they are ruining aspects of the game and running people away from the game because they have to watch this ridiculousness when people with two eyes and common sense can see he was already mid windup. He doesn't get the call timeout in that instant. And the worst part about it was a ball, so it wasn't going to affect Juan Soto either way. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be sitting there. Oh, well, time. No, he's already mid time, and you could see from the video he didn't stop. He didn't stop at all. So your reasoning for it was wrong and flawed. And then when you go and talk to him, you lie to the kid. Yeah, I'm going to call the BS out. It is absolutely nonsense. ABS system cannot come fast enough. Get these guys out of here, out of the involvement of the balls and strikes and things like that, so we can actually watch real baseball. And some of these guys aren't being thrown out. They're not missing games. They're not having bad calls called on. Because, we should have a universal strike zone. It shouldn't matter if Joe Watson's behind the plate, Ben Troupe's behind the plate, I'm behind the plate. It should all be the same freaking strike zone. So, seeing what you seen, are you with me, brother? Cannot wait for the ABS system?
Yep, because number one, for those who say I don't want the ABS system because you're taking jobs away, well, prove that. Well, why are the Homo sapiens, why are the human beings effing it up, messing it up? Let me get this straight. Are the umps off limits? So we can't say nothing to them? Managers can't say nothing to them. So all they're allowed to do is call balls and strikes. Can't do that. And the catcher just show them the ball sometimes if he hit the ground to make sure it's no. If you're in the game, we should be able to have a discussion. I'm not going to like everything you do. Let me tell y'all something. We need to get past this. The ump is always right nonsense. We got to live with these dumb calls, bad calls, horrible calls. If I don't know nothing else, as a baseball lover enthusiast, I know what the strike zone is, but more importantly, I know what it's not. If that catcher, let me tell you what a catcher does. When the ball is not in the strike zone, they're trying to barely move their glove. They're trying to barely move it, right? But a strike zone, a strike zone is not outside the framework of the hitter. I mean, when catchers' arms are going, sometimes, anytime it's a strike three, this is how you know. They be trying not to delay it. Usually, if it's a strike three, that catcher finna throw it straight to third base. Sometimes they'll delay it because they're like, that's a strike. Oh, let me get to third. I'm telling you, if you are an umpire in the MLB, you know how many other umpires look up to you that does AAA, AA, single A, college, softball, T-ball, high school, middle school. And y'all, one bad ump makes all umps look bad because they start. It's like a bad apple, and I don't get this. Who you think you talking to? Type mentality. What? I can't talk to you now. You know who know what strikes really are, and I know they're biased. Pitchers. If they don't know what a strike is, no one does. But guess what? Catcher can't say nothing to you. Manager can't say nothing to you. Can't look at you funny. Can't give you bad mannerism. Can't have bad body language. Are y'all psychologists? Or are y'all umps? You can't say nothing. What did he say to you? He told me that was a bad call. You threw him out? You threw him out because it was a bad call. Well, it was. And you know what we never see? Why? If a pitcher isn't playing well, they'll take him out, right? If a reliever isn't throwing well, they'll get another reliever. What happens to a bad ump? Like, what happens? Will they get fined? Can they not ump the next game? Like, I'm serious. Like, I'm not saying it should be harsh. I'm saying it should be consequences because everybody else got to feel it, right? So I think that's what it is too, Stephen, is if there's no, listen, if our children go to school and every time they get in trouble, there is no repercussion, we make it like bad on two people, three, the school, the teachers, and the students. Because our kids are out there. A bad ump makes the entire game bad. Because if I'm a relief pitcher, I don't want to deal with that. Him, both pitchers got to deal with him. Both team pitchers got it. And I'm like, so hold on, you come out, so you took off his mask. I want to talk to him. Get out of here. Dude, I just want to talk. Get out. Hold on. But if you want to talk to me, I got to listen to whatever you say. And let me tell y'all something. Some of y'all don't know how disrespectful some of these umps are disrespectful. Can anybody throw the ump out? Oh, that's right. Only they can't throw themselves out. They're not gonna. Oh, there it is. Can we have relief umps? And who made that decision? Come on. Let's add that to baseball. You know how many relief umps going? You know how many games they're gonna get to? Dude, I did every game last year. Why? Because they threw an ump out every game. Why? Because the ump is awful. We're not talking about mistakes. We're not talking about human error. We're talking about blatant disrespect to the game and just straight incompetence. What are you doing? Think about it, Stephen. Now, you're looking at, listen, when the game coming on, you're looking at who's pitching, who's on the mound. and who's behind and then who's up in the game. Like who we got? Oh my God, we got this dude. Because umps got a reputation of either being real good or being real bad. I don't want the in between ump. I want the guy that's rock solid or not, but they're making it easy to make this decision. And Rob Manfred, I'm gonna keep saying this: you are the worst commissioner in sports. Every time you poke your head out, you ain't doing nothing to help the game. Listen, I'm never ever gonna be praising Bryce Harper, but when he's right, he's right. And when you was there to see the Phillies, he let you know this ain't what this. You picked the wrong dugout. Go back to your hole or wherever you came from, because you do not help baseball one bit. Every time you open up your mouth, it ain't beneficial at all. We want a salary cap. Get the hell out of here. I think the umps are doing great. What are you watching? I think you guys need to calm down. Sorry. We're not here. This is a very emotional game, and I only get so many at bats. And if I'm swinging at pitches, I struck out. If it's not in the strike zone and I didn't swing, and you call the strikes, what are we doing? So yeah, they're making it easy, and I'm looking for breaking news. And they're gonna start it in the grapefruit. They're gonna start it in the spring baseball,
like they did this year. So. Listen, he's making it real easy for everyone to and obviously this umpire is young guy, things like that. But we've talked about this several times throughout the year. He's not the only umpire that's been making bad calls and costing teams games, pitchers opportunities, things like that. This was just bad on every level. The timeout was late; it shouldn't have been allowed. Obviously. Jesus wasn't happy with how his performance was going that inning. I think when he was relieved, the bases were loaded, and you should be allowed to speak to them. You should be allowed to vent your frustration. They're words at the end of the day. He's walking away. It's not like he's in your face. He's touching you. Spit got on your chin. Think like no, nothing happened. Don't let your egos get involved and control the game in that way. Can't wait for the ABS system, one way, shape, or form. But we were talking about pitchers. I want to get your opinion on some of the cool little graphic I came across. All right, who is your most intimidating pitcher in Major League Baseball history? Is it Bob Gibson? Is it Randy Johnson? Is it Nolan Ryan? Or is it Roger Clemens? Or do you have another pitcher in mind that you feel was if you were happened to be a baseball player, not a football player, who of those guys would you not wanted to be throwing strikes at you?
I mean, it's hard. It's always going to be hard to go up against a strikeout king, Nolan Ryan. I get it, but it's just as far as like a intimidating. Randy Johnson is about as scary. There was a bird in bird heaven right now because he was flying a little bit too low. He obliterated it. Like the bird.
There was nothing left. You're right. There was nothing left.
They're like, come clean up on the mound. I would say, I would if I had to pick a guy, even though I want a pitcher that has stuff like Nolan, that's intimidating like Randy, but has a flair to him and an attitude like a Bumgarner. Like I like the way he pitched. Like I like when pitchers stare hitters down. Because I don't like you, dude. We don't like each other. But I come from the Tom Glavine, John Smokes, Greg Maddux era.
I'm with you there. I think Randy Johnson, it has to be the runaway with that. But Nolan Ryan, he was intimidating in another way. Obviously, strikeout king holds the Major League Baseball's single season strikeout record. I don't think anyone's going to get close to that anytime soon. But Randy was just intimidating in other ways. Like obviously, as the aforementioned, the exploding pigeon, couldn't survive the Randy Johnson baseball. You have, I think it was the '95 All-Star game where throws one over Crook's head, and John is so terrified to get hit by Randy, winds up striking out a pitch that's like 5 feet off of the plate. You know, he had a different type of intimidation factor. He could buzz one over your head, you know, going 100 plus mile an hour, and he could blow one right past you going 100 plus 1 mile an hour. So Randy Johnson is the runaway for me. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. But I also say Bob Gibson was known for being fierce. So, like, Bob Gibson kind of showed pitchers, hey, man, we can have personality on this mound. Like, we can be known for, you know, because I think sometimes with a pitcher, you know, you control the flow of the game. You know, you control all aspects of the game. But I want a guy that when he on that mound, man, I want to place fear in the hearts of every pitcher. I don't think I would have put Roger Clemens on there. I think I would have put Pedro Martinez, because Pedro, he had no problem putting one in your ribs. Yes. If you mess with one of his players, yeah. he had his players back 200%. You know, people tend to forget, you know, Pedro got in fights with managers, not just players. He was mean. He was nasty. I think Pedro Martinez is a very underestimated, undervalued guy from that time. Go ahead, Ben. Lynchcomb. I remember Lynchcomb from the Giants, the freak. He was one. I think, you know what it is, too? I think a pitcher, if you're not fierce, you got to have some type of personality about you on the mound. Like right now, not because all my Braves got is like the end of the season, we awful. Like Spencer Strider for the Braves right now. Like, I want a guy that's aggressive. I want a guy that's saying, look, dude, I'm here to come at dudes. What you mean? I'm trying to get dudes out. Listen, when it's bases loaded, it's a full count, and you get that last strike when they're going off the mound going, let's go. It's like, I want hitters walking on that mound knowing, dude, let's do it. You and me. Yep. So, yeah, Bob Gibson, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan, Lynchcomb. I mean, because nowadays, some of these pitchers, they so nice. They be smiling at the hitter. Boy, you crazy. Remember we went out the other time? Yeah, we ate at the dinner. No. I want Madison Bumgarner and Yasiel Puig. He coming before he even take the mound. He like, what's up? Who you look? I'm looking at you. That is baseball. Baseball is when we are. Everybody don't got what the NL East got, man. Rivals all throughout the whole thing. We can't none, you know. So I just appreciate when I love guys like Clayton Kershaw, but Clayton Kershaw is like he's a good pitcher, but ain't nobody scared of him, you know.
And speaking of intimidation, we kind of skipped over this one to circle back to it before we get it. Why is Ohio State terrified of Barstool Sports CEO owner David Pomeroy to the point where they are banning him from being in the stadium during the upcoming Ohio State Michigan face-off? What has Dave done that is so intimidating, so terrible that he has to be banned from the stadium? Is this another one of those things where we're watching a college being a little soft, in their feelings?
Ain't no little soft. I mean, when next time people say, "Hey man, what kind of pillow would you want?" I want the Ohio State pillow. What? I want that Ohio. It's the softest pillow on the market. Like, let me get this straight. He's a Michigan guy. I get it. Michigan through and through. I get it. He's banned. You can't be here. First, y'all trying to ban plant flagging. That came from a Ohio congressman. Now we're banning David Portnoy. We banning him. Who's next? Charles Woodson? Nope. Tom Brady? You can't. Nope. Anybody that had anything to do with Michigan, you can't come through here. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing?
Who's next? Brandon Graham, right? Because he's a Michigan alum.
Listen. Let's go ahead and do it. Do you really think Michigan people care? They don't care. They don't care, Ohio State, that you don't want us. But Ohio State fans, y'all start doing this, it can go the other way. Oh, what you mean you got a ticket to Michigan to go blue or whatever. Oh, sorry, you Ohio State fan? No, we don't allow y'all in the stadium anymore. What? Yeah, we're petty like that. Because this comes down to pettiness. You know what it's really? I'm gonna tell you why he really got banned. You know who got the worst pizza in America? Ohio. Because David went up there, tried some pizza, spit it out. Nasty, bad food reviews. Y'all pizza nasty. And y'all didn't like it. So, you know what, David? You can't come to our stadium. Who cares? Nobody want to come to the shoe. Who cares? Like, and guess what y'all doing? You're only making two people more famous and more money. That would be Barstools and David. You put more money in his pocket because now these sponsors are gonna come out. Ohio State, let's do better. Y'all just won a national championship. Y'all are petty in the state of Ohio. God, first you can't sign even the state of Ohio, Cincinnati can't sign anybody. And when you finally sign them, it's for pennies on the dollar. Then you got Cleveland, Ohio, got 4 quarterbacks. Now you go to 3 quarterbacks, right? And now we got Ohio State, the biggest brand in the state, Columbus. Listen, that's what I'm gonna do. Me and my wife are gonna go shopping for pillows this weekend. And every store I say I want to. No, it says Ohio State. I don't got Ohio State pillows in here, sir. It's the softest pillow on the market. It's super duper soft. Like it feels like nothing in your hand. Like, what's the name of the pillow? It's called Petty Pillows. They're called Petty Pillows, but they made in Columbus, Ohio. Made in America, Columbus, Ohio. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start pettypillows.com, and we only sell and we make our pillows in the Columbus, Ohio. Softest pillows on the brand. Or we're gonna call it MLBumps.com. The softest umps ever.
Oh man. Now going from soft to feel good story before we run out of time here. Gotta give some love to our former guest here.
Yes.
Tay Godwin's book is officially hit the shelves with tested but chosen. You know, he's been tagging us on X the last few days. I want to make sure we get that out there. Anybody looking for a good read this this football season. You know if you're bored watching the Dallas Cowboys get their heads kicked in or something like that, we got a good book from our good friend Tay Godwin. Guys, make sure you're heading over to Amazon. You're going to your Barnes and Noble. You're checking it out, showing us some love. Giving our friend a good read here. I wanted to make sure I showed him some love before we got off the air. I wanted to kind of squeeze 1 or 2 more topics in there. We did mention it. I didn't want to go on to the NFL 100 list, but there's a thing I have to mention. I'm not happy where they put Jalen. He's in the top 20. It's really irrelevant. Most of these lists are irrelevant, but when you omit guys from that list, I have to stand up and say something. So obviously, this is the list of wide receivers that made the list over Devontae Smith. Now, I'm not telling you Devontae Smith is a top 20 player or anything like that. He is definitely a top 100 player in the NFL right now. He is electric. He is Mr. Highlight Reel, if you ask me. And he has outstanding body control. He's got some of the best catches over the last few seasons, not only from the dagger in the Super Bowl, but the work he does on the sideline. He's not scared to go over the middle. He's one of these undersized guys, but to sit there have Lad McConkey, nothing against Drake London, feels like he's a better guy than him. Jerry Jeudy, maybe if we're talking, Jerry Jeudy, his first 2 years in the league, we could say that he's better than Devontae Smith. Malik Neighbors, absolute outstanding talent. Shouldn't be ranked over Devontae Smith. Brian Thomas Jr., I'm not familiar with your game. Still don't believe you. Terry McLaurin, yes, I can say Terry McLaurin. Tyreek Hill, yes, I can say Tyreek Hill. Mike Evans, absolutely, I can say Mike Evans. Puka Nacua, he's officially their number 1 there. So you can make an argument Puka should be on this list, not Devontae. CeeDee Lamb, the king of the slot. Go ahead, you can have that. Nico Collins.
Come on now.
This is where I start scratching my head. Like, listen, I'm not sitting there saying that I'm not trying to say bias or whatever, but they're telling me those 10 guys or so I named should be on the NFL's top 100 list, and Devontae's not on the list, is when I start to have a problem. He is clearly a top 100 player. He is, at least in my opinion, a top 25 to top 30 wide receiver in this league. Yes, he's not the number one, but that guy is a human highlight reel in every sense of the word. Some of the catches he's made over the last few years have been incredible. Ben, like I know we've been hammering down on these lists for the most part. It's for us to debate at the end of the day, but how does this happen?
Because when it comes to lists, which is why we love them and hate them, we don't really fully understand. Just we care more about getting a list filled and not filling it right. Man, a list supposed to take time. A list supposed to take attention to detail. You're not supposed to just be throwing guys on there. Nico Collins, love Nico. Devonta Smith, stop it. Love Larry McClunky and what he was able to do as a rookie out of Georgia for them Chargers. Come on. And let me tell you something. Some could say the reason why your number one is a number one is because he has a great number two. Not a good one, a great number two. Great number twos will be number ones on both teams, on most teams in the National Football League. When we get to talking about, people say, well, you talking about what Devonta Smith has done since he's been in the league. 308 catches, 411 yards, 27 touchdowns. That's from a number two.
And we're talking about a running team over the past 2 years.
I think the thing about a guy like Devonta, let me tell you what Devonta Smith is really doing, though. They said, listen, he won the Heisman at receiver. He's 6 feet, 170 pounds. He might not be 170. He might be 160. He's thin. He's very, very thin. He's a slim reaper. Someone says they've never seen a receiver that small dominate. There are times when he is dominating out there. It is embarrassing what he does to DB. So, once again, the Philadelphia Eagles never need motivation. They're going to say they don't care about the list. They do. They're going to say that we don't care about the type of things we can't control. They do. They're not going to say it to us, but we know. Jalen went from 15 to 19, and he was 15 when he didn't win a Super Bowl, and he's 19 when he does. Make it make sense. You can't make it make sense. But the Slim Reaper going to keep doing what he's doing. You know what he's saying? They don't think I'm that good. Devonta Smith is known for three things right now. He is known for catching the greatest catch in national championship history. Him and Tua turn the lights out. Georgia, game is over. Winning the Heisman in college at receiver, first and only receiver at not first and only, but only receiver at Alabama to do it. And since he came into the league, been a beast. I'm talking about you cannot do nothing with him. Devonta, listen, don't worry about the top 100. We knew this list was bonkers. We knew it was blasphemous. We knew it wasn't real. And every year there's a player that lets you know this stuff is not real. Devonta, congratulations. Because you know what we're going to start doing? I mean, y'all don't want me and Steven to do like a top 50 list with just receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks. Y'all don't want us to do it. Because if we do, people are going to be big mad. Why? Because we're going to base it on what you've done, not what you could do. We're going to base it on actuality, not fiction. And people are going to be like, man, y'all just being biased. No, we're not. Men, what they say, men lie, women's lie, numbers and production don't. And Devonta is both. He produces, right? Devonta, don't worry about it, sir. I wouldn't worry about it one bit. But if you a DB in the NFC East and out of conference, somebody's going to have to pay for this. And guess what? Diggs over there with Dallas. Don't worry. Oh, that's right. Quinyon Mitchell gonna make CeeDee Lamb pay for it. And Diggs, you're gonna have to be on the receiving end of these touchdowns. Because AJ, what you gonna do? AJ, Devonta, man, you keep being a bad man, sir.
Well, Eagles are already dangerous as they traded for John Mitchie. They still have Jahan Dotson there. I think you're gonna see some 4 wide receiver sets and they're going to spread people out and do some damage. But as we're in the final minute here, Ben, your parting shots for this afternoon.
Tay Godwin. Tay, man, congratulations on your new book, man. I see you hit me on saying, I saw you hit me on X saying, man, I'm over here crying. That's why we do what we do over here. It's a Tay Godwin, his new book, make sure you go get it, and I think the thing about it is, Steven, man, we just going to keep like we say. I'm not saying it's going to be the hashtag, but over here, you come in for the news, You come over here for the nuance. You come over here for the nonsense, and we're gonna be addressing all three on the Fan and In.
Yeah, we're going to be having some fun here. Like I said, we're getting closer to our goals. We're about, I think it's like 620K views on the YouTube channel. As soon as we get to 1 million, we're going to do one of our giveaways. We're about halfway to the actual subscriber portion of that. But other than that, I'm Steve. He's Ben. This was another episode of the Fan in the End. Catch you guys.